Right. Uday, the finance minister has also left more money in the hands of consumers. Do you think, considering that India is a consumption-driven economy, a wise move?
I beg your pardon, I missed the question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, Uday was saying that the finance minister has also left more money in the hands of the consumer. The fact that he's increased the IT exemption limit, a wise move.
I think it's a marginal move. You've got to keep in mind that inflation is high, and therefore at the lower end, little more money in the hands of the consumer is a necessity with such high food and base inflation, and therefore I think it is completely necessary, and it won't necessarily boost too much of discretionary consumption. This is the cost for your core consumption in food and other items, and absolutely necessary, as I would say. And therefore, from the point of view of domestic consumption on a broader basis, I think nothing in this really disturbs the domestic consumption theme. The question which we need to ask is, how much does the budget boost the investment theme and the supply side challenges which India faces? And I'm really not sure about that, whether we have made a needle change move on the investment and supply side for the economy. And therefore, in totality, if I have to sum up from the market's point of view, my sense is that the markets are optimistic but fragile. And we've got to keep this in mind. The fragility of markets is very important as they turn a little optimistic after the budgets.
Akash, this one is coming your way, and think and answer. Akash, one business, one sector or one name where you think the margin of safety is present, and post-budget it makes perfect sense to buy that business or buy that sector, Akash?
I don't, specific sectors, I think, I mean, we don't look at it from that point of view, but I think the positive surprise for this sector, for this year, for this budget obviously seems to be the, the autos and that whole auto segment, because people were braced for excise duty increases there. So I think that's a positive for them. Otherwise, other sectors, I frankly have not seen much. Other thing I think is fertilizers. We own some stocks there. I think he's given a whole slew of incentives on the fertilizer side in terms of infrastructure status, and I think given some tax benefits and talked about some benefits for organic farming practices. And so I think if you're asking me one sector, I would probably say fertilizer, agro-oriented, because there seems to be some, again, the full details have not been given, but he just mentioned lots of things, small things for fertilizer manufacturers in India, from tax benefits and other benefits. So maybe that's a sector which could do potentially much better. But otherwise, doesn't seem to be anything very dramatic, be positive or negative for any specific sector, because I think the point some of the panelists made, the fact that we are now in a regime of far more stable taxation, both on excise, direct and indirect, I think implies that the days of where with the stroke of one pen the economics of a sector are totally improved or decimated by the finance minister. Hopefully we're getting past those type of days. With the stability which we're seeing now in taxation, I don't think any particular sector gets massively favored or disfavored in budgets from now onwards.
Right, and before we wrap, final question, Raamdeo, this one is coming your way. You like autos and you like banks, so tick mark for us. Is it Hero Honda or is it State Bank of India for you now?
So, I think both are very cheap, but if I want to play safe, I would buy SBI.
And why is that, Raamdeo?
One, because the correction is quite deep. It's available at about 9.5, 10 times current year. And as I said, I think the prospects for banking and the high level of savings rate and the predictable good demand for the credit, good profitability structure, lower credit cost. I think at 9-10 times with a growth of about anywhere between 15 to 17%, looks to be a reasonably good bet where I can double my money for in at least next 4 to 5 years.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Raamdeo Agrawal joining us from